I never used to think much about credit scores. It was just a number people talked about sometimes. Something important, sure, but not something that could actually control your life. At least, that's what I thought. Then, mine dropped to 480, and suddenly everything, literally everything, became harder. I still remember the moment I realized how serious things had gotten. It wasn't some dramatic turning point. It was just a normal weekday afternoon at Target. I had my 2 kids with me. They were tired, arguing over which cereal to get, pulling at my sleeves while I tried to calculate in my head whether my card would work. I already knew my account was almost empty, but I was hoping, really hoping, it would go through. The cashier scanned everything. I tapped my card, and then that pause, you know the one. It feels longer than it actually is. Then the screen flashed, declined. I tried to act calm, like maybe it was just a mistake, but inside I felt this wave of heat and panic. I checked my wallet and realized I had $4. That was it. I had to leave the cart and walk out while my youngest started crying because we couldn't even buy milk. I don't think I've ever felt smaller in my life. That day stayed with me, not because of the embarrassment, though that was bad enough, but because I realized something had to change. I couldn't keep pretending everything was fine. My name is Sarah, and for a long time I lived what felt like 2 separate lives. On the outside, I was just another busy single mom. I worked, paid bills when I could, smiled at neighbors, showed up to school meetings. Everything looked normal. Behind closed doors, though, I was drowning. I owed about $22,000 across several credit cards. Collection calls came constantly, unknown numbers made my stomach drop. I stopped answering my phone unless I recognized the caller. Some nights I couldn't sleep because I kept thinking about what would happen if we lost our apartment. What scared me most was feeling trapped. With a 480 score, I couldn't get decent loan terms, couldn't refinance anything, couldn't really move forward. It felt like being stuck in a hole that kept getting deeper. Eventually, something shifted in me. I didn't make some big announcement or ask anyone for help. I just quietly decided I would fix my credit, whatever it took. It became this private mission I told no one about, not even my family. The first thing I did was download my credit reports from all 3 bureaus. I remember opening the files late one night after the kids were asleep. Page after page of accounts, balances, late payments. It felt overwhelming. I almost closed the laptop right there. But instead, I printed everything and sat at the kitchen table with a pen and a highlighter. That's when I started noticing things that didn't make sense. A medical bill appeared twice. There was a store card I didn't recognize at all. Some dates looked wrong. At first, I assumed it was my mistake, but after reading more online, I realized errors happen more often than people think. So I started disputing them. It sounds simple when I say it now, but at the time it felt intimidating. I spent money that should have gone toward groceries on envelopes and postage. I wrote letters asking companies to verify debts. I didn't know if anything would come of it, but it felt like taking control of something, anything. Around the same time, life threw another problem at me. My car broke down completely. The repair cost more than the car was worth, and I needed transportation for work. I ended up buying an old used car with a terrible interest rate because I didn't have other options. I remember signing the papers feeling exhausted, like no matter what I did, I couldn't get ahead. That night, after the kids were asleep, I just sat on the edge of my bed and cried. Not loudly, just quietly, because I didn't want them to hear. For a while, it felt like all my effort was pointless. Then one day, about a month after I sent my first disputes, I received a letter saying one of the accounts had been removed because the company couldn't verify it. My credit score went up slightly. It wasn't a huge jump, but I stared at that update for a long time. It meant something could actually change. That small win gave me motivation to keep going. The process wasn't smooth. I made mistakes, plenty of them. At one point, I paid a collection agency hoping they would remove a negative account from my record. They didn't. I felt embarrassed and angry with myself for trusting them without written confirmation. That experience taught me to slow down and learn before acting. I started reading everything I could about credit, how payment history affects scores, how keeping balances low helps, how timing matters. I learned about credit utilization and why even small changes could improve how lenders see you. I learned about the Fair Isaac Corporation's scoring system and why consistency matters more than quick fixes. It wasn't exciting. Honestly, most nights it was boring and exhausting. But slowly, things began improving. 6 months into this process, I was running on very little sleep. I worked long hours and then spent evenings reviewing accounts or researching financial rules. My kids would sometimes ask why I was always on the computer. I'd just tell them I was trying to make things better for us. Then something happened that terrified me. One of my old debts turned into a lawsuit. I had never been inside a courtroom before, and I was shaking the day I showed up. I didn't have a lawyer, I couldn't afford one, so I just prepared as best I could. When the company couldn't provide proper documentation proving they owned the debt, the case was dismissed. I walked out of that building feeling lighter than I had in years. It wasn't just about the money, it was the feeling that maybe I wasn't powerless after all. From there, progress came slowly but steadily. I focused on paying off one balance at a time, starting with the smallest. Each time I cleared an account, I felt this quiet sense of relief. I tracked my progress privately, little notes, small milestones, nothing fancy. My credit score climbed into the 600s, then higher. Just when things seemed stable, I noticed a hard inquiry on my report that I didn't recognize. Someone had tried to open credit in my name. Seeing my score drop again was terrifying. For a moment, I thought all my work had been wasted. But this time, I knew what steps to take. I froze my credit, reported the fraud, and followed up until it was removed. The process was stressful, but it showed me how much I had learned. About 18 months after I started, something simple happened that meant more to me than any financial milestone. I took my kids back to that same Target. We bought groceries without counting every dollar. They picked out cereal. We even got a small birthday gift. When I paid, the transaction went through instantly. The cashier handed me the receipt, and I just stood there for a second, holding it. It wasn't about the purchase, it was about not feeling afraid anymore. That night, after we got home, I checked my credit score. I actually refreshed the page twice because I didn't believe it. Going from 480 to 740 didn't happen because of luck. It happened through small decisions repeated over and over. Learning, correcting mistakes, staying consistent even when progress felt invisible. The process changed more than my finances. It changed how I think about money, about responsibility, about the future. I stopped feeling ashamed and started feeling capable. If you're struggling with debt or credit problems right now, I understand how heavy that burden feels. It can be isolating. It can make you feel like you failed somehow. But situations can change. Progress is slow and sometimes frustrating, but it is possible. You're not defined by a number. You're not stuck forever. Sometimes the hardest part is just deciding to begin. And if you've ever gone through something similar or you're still in the middle of it, sharing your experience might help someone else feel less alone.